Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamika. This reading is going to be for the sign of Pisces, my sun sign, sun, moon, rising, and Venus. I love Pisces. I'm using the Angel Tarot, and I'm going to be doing a 6-card pyramid. This is the June 2020 monthly reading, and then we'll get a numerology guidance at the end of the reading. Pisces, you're 4th on the list. There is a lot of prominence with that number right now. 4 is representing foundations, home, right, in sort of every sense of the word, stability, being solid and grounded. I had a passing thought, right, which is such a like a Piscean thing to do, about like energy, right as I was like setting up to start these readings, and it was that, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this summer is a lot about grounding. And as I'm saying that, we have the 9 of Earth, 9 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Earth, right? Enjoying life's little luxury, spending quiet time alone, right, which us Pisces really need, successful self-employment, gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, and receiving a loan or paying off debts. All really good energy, all having to do, right, with that stability, right, especially in terms of work, career, finances, taking action. Here I'm seeing the Knight of Fire. Fire energy is very prominent right now, okay, as we traverse, at least this is the energy I've been picking up on. And I'm not an astrologer, I'm a student of astrology, that's what I like to say. But yeah, what I've been picking up on is as we go through this sort of balancing out energy between Gemini season, which we're closing out, going into Cancer season, which is, you know, our fellow water sign. And these cards really remind me of water. Just look at the back of those. As we go through that, fire energy feels very prominent. We're in a very fiery sort of feeling season, if not fiery situations, right? You can see that obviously on a national and global scale, but could also be like personal situations for a lot of people right now. This is more of like a collective energy, not necessarily specific to Pisces, but I did see a little bit of fire in there as I was shuffling. And release here, Archangel Azrael, okay, this is about transformation. Kind of like our other water sign cousin Scorpio, right, with the Death card. The end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. Lots of moving and movement energy coming up as well in a lot of the readings, whether literally relocating, right, changing jobs, or more in a sort of metaphorical or spiritual sense. And there's that Knight of Fire showing up again. So before I cut the cards, I just want to read for that card too. So a sudden event that needs immediate attention, time is of the essence. Think things through carefully, right? Because while there's sort of this rapidity in terms of, again, the collective energies, things picking up, things really starting to, you know, quote unquote happen, there's also this need to sort of be a little bit cautious and considered, right, in terms of what you're doing, okay, in the direction that you're heading in. So let's see, what are the messages coming up for my Pisces crew? Ooh, Knight of Air, Knight of Swords. You could be dealing with an air sign for sure, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Again, there's this intonation of things happening very quickly, right? Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options, creative solutions. And we know Pisces, very creative zodiac sign, right? And I'm also seeing like thinking of creative solutions perhaps, and this came up in the Sagittarius reading. So if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, especially we saw that Knight of Wands, where you have Sagittarius placements, or even fire, okay? You might want to go check that out, because it felt like someone might be coming in to sort of partner who also, someone who has this sort of creative energy, or again, like sort of creative solutions, felt like a younger energy, and we are seeing 2 knights here. So again, feels like a sort of, not immature, but just like on the younger side, however that may resonate, energy. And also this energy, again, of really needing to be very considered, okay, and to really think about your options and what you're doing, okay? Not rushing, I'm getting that as well. Okay, so You have a decision coming up here, Pisces, and I think maybe there's a little bit of conflict, okay? Again, energy that was in the Sagittarius reading could be like internal conflict or conflict with other people, okay? With this Two of Water, I want to go through the cards before I keep laying them out, which is, I don't know why I'm feeling that for you, but I do. So this decision, a relationship that continues to grow closer, the Two of Cups, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. And there it is again, right? We're seeing that conflict energy sort of playing out over here with this Knight of Air and the Five of Air, which we'll get to in a second. And then we have your card, Pisces, Queen of Water, tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition, care for yourself and others. Okay, so very well could be related to this type of decision that you're making. Again, might have to do with an air sign here, or if not, this is just talking about the air energy that is, we are again in an air sign season right now, Gemini. So the air energy is sort of prominent, okay? Really being in the mind, and you might sort of be it could be that you're like sort of getting a lot of thoughts and ideas all at once. Perhaps you're having trouble slowing down and really processing them. Try journaling if that helps for you, okay? Okay, so then let's go into the Five of Air before I continue. So I feel like, Pisces, just before I read this card, that it is either perhaps something that someone else does, okay? And I feel like if that's the case, it almost feels like there's a bit of persistence here. Okay, maybe there's a past with this person or this situation, like just sort of, it feels like a little bit of an ongoing nature. Okay, so I feel like either someone made a decision, again, possibly an air sign here, or, yeah, I feel like someone else making that decision, or this is something that happened already. So it's talking, and likely, again, could be related to this air energy over here. An unwise choice, learn what you can from the situation, review everyone's motives, right? Really paying attention to what people say. And I am sort of seeing this movement energy as well, like almost like a ship, okay, Pisces, and we know you're the water sign, but I'm seeing like growth and progression, right, for you in terms of this decision, as well as like whatever past events, not just whatever this may be alluding to, but it's like the course of your lifetime. And then I'm also just seeing this decision around this other air energy, or again, it's sort of like, perhaps there's some, because again, I'm seeing movement around it. Okay, so it's either like someone else made some sort of decision or said something like that, or it's like you're having this sort of change of, instead of a change of heart, it's like a change of mind, like a perspective shift, but it's major, okay, in terms of how it's transforming your energy, and it's almost causing this, there's like a duality to it as well, okay? Like it's sort of, again, in terms of that Gemini to Cancer energy, it's actually very much like that. It's like that balancing out of, again, the mind energy and the heart energy. I like it. Okay, let's see what else we have coming up. I feel compelled to shuffle one more time. And there's a Knight of Fire again, and the Ten of Air. Okay, which I feel like this, again, is related to this past thing, or again, possibly an air sign, but someone else. It feels external. The end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Recovering from an addiction, and that could be you or someone close to you, Pisces. So let's apply that however it may resonate. All right, let's just get a few more cards here, and then we'll close out the reading. What are the messages for? Okay, so you have the Seven of Earth and the Ace of Earth, the Ace of Pentacles. Seven of Earth, again, it's like learning, again, because feels like this past energy, like learning from a situation, okay? I feel like perhaps you and or someone else or someone else's are actually learning from this past situation or situations, whatever the case may be. So with the Seven of Earth, this is saying when you take, even if they were quite difficult lessons to have to learn and to have to apply, when you take those things, right, in your present moment, you slow down, you observe, you make a plan for the future, right, really tapping into that High Priestess energy, which we know us Pisces are, all about. you yield the results of the seeds that you sow, right? So seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, which reminds me of the other major arcana, which represent Pisces, the Hanged Man, right? Taking that time for self and for introspection and for self-care, okay? Not having to always sort of be on the go, 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 not having your mind always be on the go. And it says unnecessary worry here. So again, it feels like, especially with that air energy, that there's perhaps this proclivity to have, worrisome or anxious sort of thoughts. And again, this came up in the Sagittarius reading, so do check that out if this is resonating here. But I feel like you're learning to get over that. And again, that feels like a part of the major progression here that I was talking about earlier in the reading. Ace of Earth is your outcome, the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, which was alluded to earlier on, I feel like, in terms of, there's something about self-employment. It's not here in the spread, but it was in the pre-shuffle then. And then important documents or contracts, right? We do have Mercury retrograde just on the horizon starting later this month. So, I mean, you should always double, triple check things, reread them, etc. But definitely make sure you're doing that, especially as we get closer to the Mercury retrograde season, basically through, the majority of the summer, up until about August, maybe. I mean, again, I would never, you don't want to really be lax with those kinds of things. You always want to do your due diligence, but it does feel like something, perhaps quite lucrative, something major, could be a contract, some type of new job offer, something like that is on the horizon. Okay, for some of you potentially here, this could be some type of engagement offer, marriage here, okay, and working to build something, again, whether it's in your business life or in your personal life. So let's get your numerology guidance, Pisces. And there's that timeout. So this is super important, okay? And again, collective energy that I've done, all the fire signs were first, so that just tells you about that prominent fire energy that I was already talking about earlier that I've been feeling for a little bit of time now. But so as things start to pick up, okay, as the pace of your life starts to pick up, especially, we were just in a huge down period, arguably still should be, whatever. But, as just the pace of life for you personally and societally, globally starts to pick up again, remember to take that time for yourself, because especially us Pisceans, we need it, right? We need it to center and ground our energy. Okay, so what's the numerology guidance for Pisces? I'm seeing perseverance, which came up maybe in the Aries reading, and karmic completion here, okay, the number 10, which also I feel like came up in the Aries reading, and we saw the 10 of air for you as well. Self-discipline. I know that I personally struggle with that, as I don't know if that's a Pisces thing necessarily, but could be. Moderation here. My mom always says moderation in all things, right? Super important. I feel like that's really important to remember as well. Just moderation in all things. Let's read for the card, and then we'll close out your reading. Pisces. So it says this card indicates a need to exercise restraint and self-control in every area of your life. Perhaps you are overeating, drinking too much alcohol, smoking, over-medicating, or taking drugs, overspending, exercising excessively, consuming too much sugar or coffee, gambling, or otherwise overindulging or engaging in obsessive or aggressive behavior. If so, this card serves as a gentle and loving reminder that behaviors such as these can delay the manifestation of your dreams. This card also indicates a need to balance your desire for freedom and adventure with your responsibilities. This came up in the Leo reading, something similar to that. So again, if any of those other fire signs resonate with you, check those out. It says, because by honoring your commitments, you will prevent the buildup of karmic debt. By choosing to live as your higher self rather than giving in to your lower tendencies, you align with Source in the intentions of your soul. Everybody has a shadow side that needs to be acknowledged, embraced, and loved. But when you learn to rise above it, you can make your dreams come true. And that line about making dreams come true has come up in a lot of the readings as well. Manifestation. So it says, with temperance and moderation, I create balance in my life. And there again is that emphasis on balance. So Pisces, that's your challenge, okay, for this month, is finding balance both within yourself and your environment, basically in everything that you do, right? So Pisces, if you like this reading and it resonated with you, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so through my website or subscribe to my newsletter for free. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, Pisces.